Hey cuties, Katrina aka Kat here. I had a lot of questions asked of how I was able to take Kelly Banks printables in the digital format and create the page I did on Procreate. You can also do this on Canva, but this video is going to focus on using Procreate only. Procreate is a program just for the iPads. It will not work on the PC computers or PC tablets. Unfortunately, Procreate is just an Apple app. So what I'm going to show you is that you go to the home page, you go down to Cutie links only. Now we have two of them right now. We have the Cutie kit, which Kelly will put up every month, a different kit, and you have all month long to click on this and download it and print it out, or do what I'm about to do, then print it out. And then we have the starter kit. And so I'm just going to show you how I did it with the Cutie kit. So I clicked on this, which automatically brought us to the Dropbox link. Now we have it in the PDF form, which is the whole kit. In case you haven't seen it yet, if you're a new cutie here, this is the whole kit. A couple more pages here. Almost to the bottom. She ends with jokes this year. Okay, arrow back. Here's the PNGs. Now she was nice enough to do 2 of the pages of PNGs. PNGs is a cutting file. I'm self-taught learning this, so I'm just using lingo that I understand how to use this. It's a cutting file compared to what I just saw you, and you saw this in the background, a white background. Here you see it as individual items. So we have this page and we have this page for individual items. Now you can use your Cricut machine or your Silhouette. I do not have a Silhouette. I do not know how to use it. So if there's someone in the group that knows how to do this with a Silhouette, go for it. Drop a video and show us how you do it so other people will learn from you. So I already have these 2 downloaded. But let's say you wanted to, let's arrow back. Let's say you wanted to do some more PNGs, that things that you want them to cut out for you, or you wanted to use it on your Procreate. You can take this whole file, this PDF file, and turn it into a PNG. So there's this site called PDF to PNG. I was shown this by Teresa, otherwise known as T in the group. And what you do is, it's a free app, and I always suggest once you've done it to clear it and then shut out this tab before you continue with your project. What you do is you upload a file. So it's going to go to my desktop. Not my desktop, I'm sorry, downloads. I already have them. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? I thought I had it all set up. Let's see. Here, I'll just show you. I'll show you this from this one. No. Let's see. Okay, here's the Cutie file. I always group everything in a separate file for each month. It's a lot easier to follow along and keep track of what Kelly B and Paula G gives us each month. So we're going to go to, let's see, the January cutting kit. Okay, that's one that we would want. So then I would open it up. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it. So I'm going to stop it. But you open it up, and as you saw, it was starting to download, and then it converts. Once it converts, I'm going to shut this out. Once it converts, then it will show up. Once it converts, it will then be a zip file. So you, come on. You open up the zip file, and this isn't exactly it, but then it's a compressed file. So then you would come over and you would unzip it, and unzipping meaning that there's a lot of files in here. So for example, it shows all of these. You would click extract all, then you go back to your main page, and then there'll be individual files. So that's the first step in this process of turning your PDFs into PNGs or getting your PNGs. Once you've had your PNGs downloaded to your Dropbox, you need to make sure you have Dropbox on your iPad. And I will show you in the next part of this video how I get from the Dropbox onto my iPad. Okay, cuties, Katrina here again. This time I'm on my iPad, and I'm going to show you how I created the page in Procreate. What I did is the first segment when I told you to save it to your Dropbox on your iPad, I opened my iPad. There's numerous ways to get PNGs over to Procreate. The easiest way I know is to save it to my camera roll and then import it as a picture. So that's what I've already done. I'm not going to do that again, but pretty much you just touch the item that you want to, and I click to save item, and then it goes right to my camera roll. So now I'm going to open up Procreate, and here's that finished page that I did on an A5 scale. I'm not going to do something as glamorous as this today, but I wanted to show you with a few of the items how I did it. So the first thing you need to do is you need to pick your size paper. I'm going to do an A5 since we are using A5. Pretty much everyone's using an A5 size for their notebooks. Then what I do is I go back to gallery, and I have all of these. Let me put the background paper or background color on. I have all of these. Here, I'll just click on some. I have all of these already out. It originally started on a page like this. And to cut them out, what I like to do is take the background off. And then what I do is I use this tool right here. There's these 4 tools. I use this squiggly tool, but what you need to do is make sure you're on the layer that you want to cut and paste. So you use the squiggly tool, and I expand it a little so it's easier for me to cut it instead of being down this small. That's really silly. So I make it like this, and then as you see, I have like this dotted line following me, and you go, and it doesn't matter how big or wide you do it, because if there's no background, you're not going to cut any of the white background and then have to erase that. So once you do that, you go to the first tool, go to the add button, and I click copy. Now the dotted line disappeared. I go back to gallery, open up my new page, go on the first tool, and I go down to paste. Now it pasted it, and it pasted it small. Why? Because it is a small item. And it usually pastes exactly where it was on the other page. So I'm just going to leave that because right now it doesn't matter where they are until I make the design. So let's get a couple more items. How about this ink pad? I really like the ink pad she created. Copy. Paste. Okay, go back to the other, go back to it again. Let's see, anything else on this page? Yeah, let's do this little thing of washi tape. Copy. Paste. Come on, Okay, I'm going to go to this one. I apologize. Kelly B made some PNGs for the toppers or the titles. So I want to make sure, okay, I only have one page here. So I want to do Paula's Pocket. I'm going to copy. Now, if you're only going to use this one time, you can click on cut and then paste. But then if you want to use it again, you'll have to import a new file to reuse it. And the reason is once you've used this, once you've copied and pasted, if I copied and paste this again, the quality of the file starts to disintegrate and gets more pixelated. So let's see. Let's go back to this one. As you can tell, I downloaded a lot of the things. Since we're going to do Paula's Pocket, I'm going to do that. The squiggly one, I'm just going to squiggly all the way around it. First tool, copy, paste. Okay, let's do a couple more things. Let's see what else we can put in Paula's Pocket. I already separated some of these from doing it before, so I'm just going to select each of the ones that I want and then bring them over real quick. Here we go. I find it easier to sometimes to use your finger for all of this instead of your pen. My pen's a couple years old, and I think that's the reason sometimes it acts wonky on me. I did get a new tip, which has been really helpful. Let's see. Bring the title page. Now, I don't want this whole title page. I just want her face. So I'm going to do the squiggly. Whoops. Now, see, I'm doing this in real time. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but some reason it thought I was starting over here. So you just undo it and then redo it. And then, once again, I'm just making it big so it's easier for me to cut out or copy exactly what I want. Copy. And then paste. Okay, let's see, a couple more things. Let's go back here. Let's see. Oh, how about this layer? How about the quote of the month? Maybe I want to have this in the quote in the pocket. So copy and paste. Alrighty. Now this last one, you notice, let's see, let's move it over so you can see it. This last one, I went a little too far over and some of this got copied. Easy cheesy. Go to your eraser that looks like an eraser and just erase it. That's it. Okay, now you can see that all these layers are mumbled jumbled, and the first things that we put on, like Oh Happy Day and the ink, are blocked mostly by this pocket. The top layer is what you'll see first. So for example, if I do this and move it down my list, now you see it went under it. So what I do is I just unclick everyone, and then I have a blank page. Now I want to get this a little more cool looking before we start building our page. I'm going to go back to the list, and we have the paper. This is that background paper. So I'm going to copy the canvas because it's the whole thing. I'm not cutting anything out. Copying canvas will get everything that is showing. And then I'm going to paste it, and voila, you have the paper again. Whoops, let's reset that. See, there's that paper. Now I can use this as a whole background paper, or I could erase some of it, for example, and like make a heart. But I'm using it as a background paper for this example. So I make it a little smaller than it is, even though it's an A5. I make it a little smaller so I can see the border because that helps me visually. I go to my first tool. I go to the canvas. I put on my drawing guide. You do not need to do this, but some of us like to make sure everything's centered, or if I want it in a certain area, that it's going to do what it's going to do. So what I do is I bring it to full capacity, full thickness, and then you have grade size. Yeah, grade size. Millimeters, centimeters, inches, pixels. I'm an inch girl. And I usually do 1 inch. I don't do the other ones because they don't make sense to me. And then on this drawing guide, depending on what you're drawing on, as you can see, hopefully through the camera, that these colors are changing. So if we had it like in the greenish area, that's not really going to help us because it'll look the same. So I usually make it really light or really dark. Once you've done that, click done. Now you have a drawing guide. See those lines? Hopefully. It will not affect your picture. It will not show up when you print it. But see, because of the repeat pattern Kelly made, look within that 1 inch square how it just lines up perfectly. So if you were going to do like you wanted a 2 inch square for your 2 inch square thing, I would come by, and this is 4 squares right here. What I might do is, let's see, we have to make sure we're on, yeah, we're on the right one. Make sure we're on an eraser. Oh, let's do a thicker eraser. What I might do is just come along those 4 squares, the outline, you hold it. Up here it says edit shape in teeny tiny letters. You pick square. Now you see these dots. I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but there's these dots. Here's my line. So what then I can do is just adjust it very slowly, very carefully, till I'm satisfied that all those lines there. So now I have a 2 by 2 square that I can then cut and paste like what we did before, and it would be, you know, then I can use it for that. But that's not what we're going to do. So I'm just going to arrow back to get rid of all of that. Okay, now let's build our page. Okay, so we have Paula's Pocket, the name of Paula's Pocket, and some things that we want to put in Paula's Pocket. So I'm going to first put Paula's Pocket on the page. Now, instead of the squiggly thing, we're going to use the arrow. The arrow, now make sure you're on the right layer. The arrow, I can make this big, I can make this small. I can move it over here, I can move it over there. I can move it over everywhere. So with the grid line, and then if you're not sure if like I made it big and I'm like, ooh, I don't like that, there's a reset button right here at the bottom. Boom, the proper size. I'm going to keep it this size, but I just want to put it somewhere else on the page. I don't want it right in the center, so I'm going to take my arrow. And this time I usually use the pen for this instead of my finger. I'm going to bring it down so the point of it is at the bottom because we want to fill up the thing. But as I'm looking at this right now, this page looks too busy with the pocket because this is a light green. So what I'm going to do is go back to the page, this page, eraser, and then I'm going to quickly erase. Like, I shouldn't say quickly. Let's find a bigger brush. And as you can tell, hopefully I'm not blocking you guys off with my left hand here. Whoops, that got a little bit. Let's go this way. As you can tell, it's clearing up the area of the pocket. Hope that makes sense. I'm not erasing the pocket layer. I'm on the layer of just the paper. But if I was and I all of a sudden accidentally start erasing the pocket, you just arrow back one, look at your list, and make sure you know where you are. And if you can't recover it, just start over again. I thought it was like one and done when I first learned, but it isn't. You are the artist. It is your art. Okay, now we have the pocket. I think that looks a lot better. Now we're going to fill her pocket. So we're going to fill her pocket with some music. But I like this music, but I want more music in Paula's pocket. So you swipe it over like that, duplicate, always duplicate from the original. So see how it made it there? Duplicate again. Remember, if you duplicate from already duplicate, it will disintegrate. That's my wording. It'll just make the item not look as good quality. So now I have 3 music, so I'm just going to pick one of them. We use our arrow key. Not sure if the camera can pick it up, but there's this big green thing, and look, I can turn it around. So not to get confused with my other music, I'm going to click those off so I can only focus on one music at a time. I'm going to go like that, and I'm going to bring it down. But you're like, well, that's not going into Paula's pocket. You're absolutely right. Paula's pocket needs to be on one of the top layers, meaning everything below it will look below it. So we'll magically do this. We grab Paula's pocket, bring it to the top. Now the music's inside the pocket. So I'm going to pick another sheet of music, arrow key. I'm going to go like this, and maybe I'll just bunch these two together right there like that. And then a third music. Another way of changing the way that this is turning, if you just need it at 45 degrees, or let's say that we want to flip it a different way, you use these. So every 45 degrees. Or you could just freehand it. So I'm going to freehand it, and I'm going to go like that and insert it in the pocket. Now I'm going to put the rest of it. So let's see, we have a ticket. It's already inside the pocket. We don't know what it is exactly, so we're going to bring it up here so we can see it. And it's one of those tickets. So maybe like that. And it's just hiding right behind the music. Now, just like the other item, like the pocket, this is kind of a lighter color than the paper. So what we need to do is make sure the paper is the very bottom layer, and that also helps alleviate it. Because see, here's our item we have right now. If I put the paper on top, it's going to show the paper. So when you have your paper all the way at the bottom, I forgot to tell you that. All right, let's see what else. Paula's pocket. Well, we want to know, everyone, we're making Paula's pocket. So here is her title. I'm bringing it bigger for me to see. And I think it would be cute, kind of angled and in the corner here. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, so we already have those items. We have some washi tape, and we have the ink pad. So now the ink pad, now if I did that, boom, it's already done. But I don't want to keep layering everything behind the music. So what you do is you touch that, and then you can bring it up. And now you notice it's kind of like in front of the music. So then we could just kind of bring it down like that, and maybe add an angle. Let's see, what else do we have? We have the lady's face. Make sure you're on the right one. Okay, now I'm not sure if I want her in the pocket. Kind of reminds me of Mighty Python. I think I might want her outside the pocket. And then maybe I'm going to shrink her a little. Oh, that's cool. I like that. She blends right into the pocket. Alrighty, let's see what else. What else isn't checked? Okay, we have washi tape and Oh Happy Days. And then we have a journal card. The journal card's kind of an odd duck out, but I wanted to put it in there just to show you, you know, you don't have to do all of the same colors for it. Now see here, it's behind all the music, but I want it like in between the music. So what I do is I just click this to see where I am. And then I'm going to drag it between it. Click on my arrow. I want the January part to show a little. So we're going to do this. Yeah, I want that. But you're saying, excuse me, it's outside the pocket. Watch this. Let's see. We bring it in just a little. January. And then I'm going to bring the music, not that music, this music, above it. And then I'm going to move the music. Nope. See? You have to make sure you're on the right line. This is why I'm not like super editing this video. I want to show you real life stuff. So see, now it's kind of like, well, there's not an edge there, but there's an edge of the music that will cover it. Okay. And then we have Oh Happy Days and we have washi tape. We're not going to put those in the pocket. I want to put that on this side. So let's get Oh Happy Days up here. Bring it over. Where are you? Oh Happy Day. Okay, here's Oh Happy Day. Now with those lines, I'm able to center it, but I want to just make it a little bigger. Now that might make it a little grainy looking on the paper. I'm not sure. So it kind of looks blurry because it was small and I made it large. So what I do is I duplicate and then I squeeze them together and then it kind of brings it back to the nice darkness it was. But I wanted to make it a little bigger because I want to show you what I did with the washi tape. I only inserted one washi tape, duplicate 3 times from the bottom. I'm always clicking on the bottom. So I have now 4 washi tapes. Unclick all of them except for one. Arrow key. Okay, where's our washi? There, it was hiding. Now this is a big thick piece of washi tape. So what I did is I brought it in. I take the snapping tool off and then you're able to freeform, which means you could kind of change the shape of it. And then you just move it over. Whoops, moved over too much. Okay, so move it over. And now you have a piece of washi tape on your stamp. Now I have 4 more of them. So I'm going to move that washi tape up also. I still have it on freeform, which means you can move it like how I'm doing right now. And now I'm going to rotate it the other way. And I'm going to go like that. Okay, so now it looks like I stuck it on with 2 pieces of washi tape. And I'm not going to use the 2 other washi tapes. I've changed my mind. So you can leave it like that or you can just delete those images. And there you go. We created, using the PNGs, another version of Paula's Pocket. Now all I would have to do is print it out. So what you do is you go to gallery. I always like naming my artwork. So I'm just going to do Paula's Pocket. Let's see. I need my printer's not connected to this, but I'm just going to pretend that I'm doing it. So you click select, pick Paula's Pocket, share. Now this is when you can import it. Let me get this down a little farther. This is when you can import it through all these things. We're going to print it, so I'm going to, there we go. Share, we're going to do PDF, best. Now it's going to export. Now you could put it back to your Dropbox and print it off your computer. Or if you want to save time, you can print it here. I don't print a lot of times off of my iPad. Just the mere fact I've noticed the quality is a little different than from the computer. Is it? I don't know. But in case you want to, you can just save it to Dropbox if you use files, or you can print. Now, if you do print, this is my suggestions to you. See, I don't have the printers on, but pick your A5. Oh, this doesn't have A5. Okay. Well, it will print as A5. So for this example, because it's an A5, I'd print it from my computer. But let's say we had A5, and then you do the layout, and then you don't do any border. And then there's one more, but I think because that's not hooked up, you pick best quality. So for me, I save it to my Dropbox, and then what I do is from there I use my my computer from Dropbox to print it. Okay, cuties, I hope that was helpful to you for the ones that want to venture in making from PDF to PNGs and making a collage this way without having to cut out all the pieces. It does look a little different than the cut out pieces, but at the same time, it's another form of artwork. And I can't wait to see what you guys create. Until next time, bye! Thank you for watching. Remember, messy hands, happy life. See you next time. Bye!